What's up, everybody? This is Inside the Pocket Podcast. We're back with another video. Today, we're going to be going over the Cincinnati Bengals and why they're personally my favorite to win the AFC this year. Alright, let's get right into it. So, we're going to talk about the free agent signings right now. Starting off, we have Orlando Brown, 27-year-old from the Ravens, 75.8 grade from PFF. They signed him to a 4-year, $64.09 million contract. To me, I feel like that's a bit of an overpay for a guy like Orlando Brown. I feel like the ceiling on Orlando Brown is Orlando Brown. 16. Let's see how much it was. Yeah, $16 million a year for Orlando Brown. I just don't think is a smart business decision for the Bengals, but they did need a left tackle, cause as y'all know, I'm sure if you're a Bengals fan, Lyle Collins tore his shit, and he's gonna be out for, I think, most of the year, maybe the whole year, cause he injured his ACL in December, ACL and MCL, and he's a big guy. You can't really expect him at his age to get back to the form he was at. So they have that, let me check it really quick. Jonah Williams made the move from left tackle to right tackle this year. So I don't know how that's going to be on Jonah. We'll see. Moving on, Nick Scott, 28-year-old safety from the Rams, 54.2 grade from PFF. They signed him to a 3-year, $12 million contract. I mean, you can't hate this signing. They needed a safety, and Nick Scott's solid. Losing Jesse Bates, who one of my friends swears is washed. That's a conversation for another time, though. But yeah, they signed this kid, Nick Scott. Not a kid, 28. Probably a grandfather. But, they just needed the depth. Not the depth, he's probably going to start, but they needed a safety there to replace Jesse Bates. Moving on, they signed the corner, Sidney Jones, to a 1-year, $3.6 million contract. Sidney Jones been in the league for a little while. Solid bit of time he's been around the league. Couple different teams here and there. I think he played for Seahawks. I don't know exactly who he played for the Seahawks most recently, but with that stacked cornerback room, probably got waived or something. Moving on, Jermaine Pratt. This was a big re-sign for the Bengals because Jermaine Pratt's a strong linebacker. He's not the best. He's not he's not the best, but he gets it done. He's a good linebacker, and those are hard to come by these days. They have two in Jermaine Pratt and Logan Wilson. They they're good guys in the defense. Good, strong stepping stones for that defense. Moving on, Cody Ford. He was, I think he's a guard, I believe. Pretty sure kid's a guard. Let's check it. Yeah, where the fuck is Cody Ford on this depth chart? Oh, here he is. He's a right tackle. Never mind. My bad. Cody Ford is a right tackle. From the Bills, I don't know much about him. Probably just a depth signing because he's sitting pretty at the back of the depth chart. So, just a depth signing there. Trent Taylor, wide receiver. Another depth signing. The Bengals wide receiver room is stacked. Probably the best in the league with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. I'm not sure who their tight end is, like CJ. No, it has not been CJ Uzoma for a while. Irv Smith Jr. Yeah, my bad, guys. Irv Smith Jr., Mitchell Wilcox, and Drew Sample. Not gonna lie, don't know much about these guys other than Irv Smith Jr. Had him on my fantasy team. I put up like 10 points when I needed it, so kid's a stud. Um, yeah. Jokes aside, Irv Smith Jr. He's Irv Smith Jr. No, not the best tight end, but that receiving core is stacked. And Joe Mixon is a good running back, good receiving back too, I'd say. Moving on, Michael Thomas, 30-year-old safety. He was previously on the Texans. He's okay. Um, he'll go out there, he'll do some good, he'll do more bad. But yeah, 1 year, 1.165 million. It's a depth signing. You can't get mad. This signing I feel has some upside. Terrell Basham. I think he played for the Cowboys most recently. 73.7 grade from PFF. And a $1.31 million signing. So you can't really go wrong there. It doesn't really hurt you to sign Terrell Basham, and he had a good grade from PFF. I guess he had a good year last year, but that Cowboys D-line was pretty good. I could be wrong. Let me make sure he was on the Cowboys last year. I believe he may have been on the tight ends. Yeah, he was on the tight ends last year. Oh, he was on... Okay. The tight ends is where he did his... Yeah, no, that don't look too good, but PFF says... No, PFF graded him well. But PFF can't really be trusted too much at times. But, I'm just saying, there could be upside there. Moving on to the O-line, which is a big conversation I think needs to be had. This is the weak point of the team. This could be the team's downfall. This is the chip in the Knight's armor, the weak point, This is where you could get the Bengals. If they have a team with a really good D-line going against them, it'll be tough, especially if there's injuries in that O-line. So, we have Orlando Brown at left tackle. As I said already, I believe I don't think he's worth $16 million a year, but they needed that left tackle. They needed to protect Joe Burrow. He was the guy they went and got. Left guard is Cordell Volson. Yeah, I don't know who Cordell Volson is. I would need to watch a bit more film, but PFF says has him at a 51.6. So he's obviously not the greatest. The issue is here, look what happens if Cordell Volson gets injured. Who do we have going in? Listed in the Bengals second on the depth chart is Ben Brown, an undrafted free agent. As you can see, I'm shocked face, man, because this was the issue with the Bengals last year, and I just don't want to see it continuing to be an issue, especially with Burrow coming off of that injury. If Burrow's getting hit and Burrow's, taking hit after hit, trying to scramble away from shit, that's gonna take a toll on his calf. And Burrow's the heart and soul of this Bengals team. Without Burrow, they're nothing. Without Burrow, they're nothing. They're Jake Browning and Trevor Siemian and fucking Reed Sinnett. Excuse my language. Moving on at center, we have Ted Karras. I believe it was either... Okay, no. Ted Karras, he was on the Bengals team last year. Alex Kappa from the Niners, I believe. I could be wrong. I just been spitting out a little bit of wrong information this year. Oh, never mind. The Bucks. I knew Kappa was on a different team sometime. Okay, anyway. This line has a bit of chemistry in Ted Cross, Alex Kappa, Jonah Williams. I'm not sure if Volson was there the year before. We can take a quick look at that. As I said, this video may be a long video. It's an in-depth dive of the Bengals. I did a little bit of research at first. I tried to. But I'm not trying to say any wrong statements here. Here we go. Okay, no. So it seems they lost Riley Reef. Oh damn, Michael Jordan. That's a big loss. That's a big loss. The goat. That's a big loss. Uh, damn. They lost a lot of these guys. This is August 9th, 2021. So yeah, I could be wrong, but a lot of these guys are new here. From compared to here, the only guys we see here, Jonah Williams, and that seems to be it. But that can't be correct because there's pictures of Ted Cross and Cordell Volson, I believe. Um, or yeah, Ted Cross. No, Ted Cross and Alex Kappa. Yeah, both of them have played with Jonah Williams. So that's on this right side of the line. There's chemistry there, which is good. But once again, if any of these guys go down, I don't like any of these backups here. Trey Hill, Max Sharping, and Jackson Carman. I don't like any of them to be protecting a franchise quarterback, and Joe Burrow is gonna sign a massive contract soon, I'm sure. Um. So, anyways, I pretty much said everything that needed to be said about this O line. It's a big concern. Um. If Orlando Brown gets injured and Hakeem Adeniji is going in, no, I'm not confident in any of these backups at all. And some of these starters, I'm not really confident either. They're no names. I mean, Jonah Williams is a continuous player in there, but he's making a switch from left tackle to right tackle. This is a concern for this Bengals team for me. But you can't get past this. Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. That's really good on offense. If that O line can just give Burrow a solid amount of time every play, not every play obviously, but if they can give him a solid 3 to 4 seconds, Burrow, that this team's gonna be good. Moving on, we'll talk about the defense. There's a lot of solid names here. I feel like not really big names, but solid names. Names that you need to build a solid team, like a Super Bowl caliber team. They'll go out there and they're able to compete with whoever you put in front of them. But I wouldn't say they have really big names. Maybe the biggest name on this team is probably Trey Hendrickson, and he's a good franchise edge. I'd put him in my tier 3, tier 4 of my edges. He's not one of the best guys, not very flashy, but he gets it done. No, he's a franchise edge. They signed him, I think, through 2025 or something like that. Could be 2026. I think it's 2025. But yeah, he's a solid edge, Trey Hendrickson. Also, I've I think he'll end up starting opposite side him. Miles Murphy from Clemson, the rookie. Crazy tools. If you watch, that kid's film, he has crazy tools. If he can get coached up, I'm not sure who the Bengals D-line coach is. We can find that out right now. But if he can get coached up, with all those intangibles, all the abilities he had that we saw him, I think mostly it was his sophomore year or freshman year in Clemson. No, he has those tools. What I'm saying is, if he gets coached, if those tools get refined, he could be a good player. Marion Hobby is the Bengals D-line coach. Not sure if he's a new hire. It's his third with the Bengals. So, he was there in the with that Super Bowl team, so he knows. He's been there in the big leagues. He knows what he's doing. He can coach up this D line well. Which also has DJ Reader and BJ Hill, who are solid, and Sam Hubbard. All of them are solid. They're not great. DJ Reader's pretty good. He's not great though. But Sam Hubbard, BJ Hill, Joseph Osai, those guys are solid. These other guys are more so depth guys. They can do stuff, but I wouldn't say they're not big names. They're not gonna ring a bell if that name's said on the loudspeaker on a Sunday night. Um, Linebackers is pretty strong too with Logan Wilson, who's a young stud. He'll probably be a franchise linebacker for the Bengals, but pretty solid there. Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt. That's a good linebacking core. Um, the middle of the field should be protected for a couple years to come. And another thing I like about this team is these young corners in Chidobe Awuzie and DJ Turner. If you watch their film, more so Awuzie, he's a good young corner. He won't be I'd say top 5 in his career, but he could be a steady top 10, lower top 10, but he's a good corner. He's a good corner, young corner. See how he progresses in his career. I think last season was his rookie season. Could be wrong. It's probably his sophomore season. I believe it was his sophomore season. I don't think this was his sophomore season at all. I'm completely wrong. Chidobe Awuzie has been in the league for a while. Okay, he's been in the league since 2017. Huh. I don't know why I thought he was young. One of these guys is young. It might be DJ Turner. And if I'm just wrong here, I just don't know ball. Oh. 2023 NFL draft. Yeah, it's this young buck. This kid hasn't even played a snap of football. Um, he's showed promise in college. One of those corners that was, in the draft process, viewed around Joey Porter and I'm trying to think. I was hearing his name along with Joey Porter and some other corner. But yeah, DJ Turner, Bengals pick in the second round of the 2023 NFL draft. Let's see what pick he was. 60th overall. So yeah, another guy keep your eye out for. Along with Jordan Battle, safety out of Alabama. He was a guy I wanted to talk about. Played alongside Brian Branch, so took away a little bit of his thunder, but the kid can play ball. Excited to see how he plays. He'll probably, I feel like, end up starting over Nick Scott eventually. Oh, here's who I was thinking about, I believe. I knew I was fucking going crazy. Sounded like I didn't know ball. No, not PFF. Yeah, this kid's 23. This is like his second year in the league. This is the kid. Cam Taylor-Britt. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit off. I don't really know ball too much today. But Cam Taylor-Britt, I feel like this kid is the cornerback one for this team. With Chidobe, Cam Taylor-Britt, DJ Turner, Mike Hilton. This is a good cornerback room. It's not one of the best, but it's a good cornerback room. It's a good DB room with these. Dax Hill's a solid safety. And with Jordan Battle, I think, going to go in and start over Nick Scott. That's solid depth. That's a solid defense. And It's a defense I think can win the Super Bowl. Uh, I really think this team matched up against the Chiefs, I think they can really get the Chiefs because, well, Burrowhead Stadium, and I just think Burrow is Mahomes' kryptonite, and I think if you match up the Chiefs and the Bengals again in that AFC matchup, the Bengals are going to win this time around. Um, and I think that people will be talking about the Bills too, but I don't think we'll see the Bills in the AFC Championship this year. I think the Bills are very overrated. Not overrated, but they have a low ceiling. I don't think the Bills will visit a Super Bowl with Josh Allen. I just don't see it. Um, no, he's not a bad quarterback, but I just don't think he can take a team to the Super Bowl. That's just, we'll need to definitely go into a deeper dive on that and get a lot of hate for that take. But I just don't think Josh Allen's ever gonna. Yeah, I really don't think he'll ever do that. Ever make it to a Super Bowl. It's just a big doubt for me. Um. So yeah, we went over most of this. I think what I wanted to say. Um. There were good things that we saw here. Um. Some bad things too, like the O line. The O line is it's a little bit wary to be protecting a franchise quarterback like Joe Burrow. It's a little bit, I'm a little bit scared of that. But uh, as we showed, but didn't really talk much of, the wide receiver core is crazy. They can carry this team easily. Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and T Higgins are crazy wide receivers. Tyler Boyd's obviously the worst of the three, but T Higgins and Jamar Chase are crazy. And as a wide receiver three, Tyler Boyd is a really good wide receiver three. Um, and Joe Mixon is a good running back too. Not the best O line in the league, so Joe Mixon, excuse me, Joe Mixon running behind that, and he puts up really good stats. That says a lot. He's a good running back, good receiving back too. The offense of this team is really electric, and the defense of this team is solid. It's a good defense. This defense can win a Super Bowl. This defense almost won not this defense, but a lot of the key pieces are still there. But this team, the organization, almost won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. So they're familiar with the feeling of being up top. Not up top, not on the very top, but being right there, competing for it. And I know Burrow is hunting for another one. He's a really good quarterback. I'd put him at probably my second best quarterback in the league. Yeah, I mean, with Burrow, I think the Bengals are going to be able to go pretty far in any year. Well, I'd hope. We haven't seen Burrow without studs at receiver, but I think Joe Burrow can and will take his team far. And I think this year will be a really good year for the Bengals. And they are my AFC favorite. They're not my Super Bowl favorite. The next video will be on my Super Bowl favorite. Definitely do a little bit more research on them. Not going in I went into this video a bit blind, but I wanted it that way. I wanted it to be a bit of a long video where doing research with you guys, and you can watch along. So I think I said most of what I wanted to be said. Sounding like fucking Mike McDaniel saying so many ums, but yeah, I said most of what I wanted to be said. So thanks for watching, guys. The next video will probably be pretty soon. Probably start working on it tomorrow. Be out in a couple days. So thanks for watching. See y'all soon.